Spokane. This is 4 News Now, Special Edition.
Gonzaga and Houston battling late in Wichita tonight. Both teams vying to continue their lengthy Sweet 16 streak in the NCAA tournament. A 1-point game, less than a minute to go here. Welcome to 4 News Now, Special Edition. I'm Jordan Smith. The Zags are in a dogfight right now. It is actually now a 1-point game. And we have our sports team keeping a very close eye on that. They'll be checking in just a little bit later on down the show here once this game is wrapped up. In Kootenai County tonight, a man was arrested for threatening his neighbor with a gun, which led to a temporary shelter in place on Gold Rush Road this morning. According to the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, 60-year-old Matthew Bowen pointed his gun at someone on their property around 10:30 this morning. He then fired the gun and left. Deputies found Bowen at his home 1 street over. The sheriff's office said he refused to cooperate with deputies and a shelter in place was issued for the area. SWAT arrived on scene just a short while later. Bowen was arrested for aggravated assaults and resisting arrest. It's unclear what led up to this initial argument. Another developing story, this time out of Othello. 22-year-old Omar Negrete Galvin was arrested after being shot during a fight with a store clerk. During the fight, both Negrete Galvin and the store clerk displayed guns. Ultimately, the 22-year-old was arrested for aggravated assault. If you have any information about this incident, you are asked to call the sheriff's office. We have that number listed on our website, KXLY.com. A water backup in Spokane partially closed the roadway near West Barnes Road and North Wall Street today. Cars navigating around those orange cones to avoid the water. No word yet on when the backup will be resolved. And the warmest weather of the season is right around the corner, we promise. But we'll need to face some wet weather here first. Meteorologist Matt Grace here. Welcome back to the weekend, Matt.
What's up, buddy?
You missed us.
I did. I missed you. And here we are on a Saturday. And we've got some big things coming up for the second half of the weekend. One of those atmospheric river type storms is making its way towards the inland northwest. And you can see here on the moisture feed of the satellite picture here, and you can see it stretches a long way back. So a lot of wet weather moving into BC, Washington, and Oregon as we head later on this evening, and that will start crossing the mountains here sooner rather than later and begin to make its way into the inland northwest. You can already see the rain started on the Olympic Peninsula, beginning to get started even on the east side of the Cascades in Oregon, and so we are going to be watching pretty closely here tonight and tomorrow for that wet weather to roll up. So here is how to plan things out hour by hour. Overnight, expect that we'll see at least a couple of rain showers to get things started. As temperatures cool off, we will cool just enough for the potential on some of the higher benches around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene to see a little wintry mix. Now, I do think it's going to be very, very brief. Some other areas like the Silver Valley have a chance to see a little bit more. Maybe a light slushy accumulation, parts of the Palouse, some of our northern valleys. Would not shock me at all if that's what we began the day with around sunrise. However, it's not going to last for long. We'll be already flipped over to rain very shortly after the sun comes up because our snow line going down from about 3,000 feet, 2,500, 3,000 feet. By the end of tomorrow, the rain snow line's up around 7,000 feet. That means it'll be raining even on the passes. We'll talk about how long this wet weather is going to be sticking around and some of that beautiful weather Jordan was talking about coming up.
All right, Matt. Thanks as always. Good to have you back here for the weekend. Well, just a quick update on that Gonzaga game. Houston winning 81-76. The Zags falling just short. We'll have a report for you here in just a few minutes. Meantime, tonight, the clock is ticking for lawmakers over in Olympia. Only 5 weeks remain in this legislative session before a final budget has to be passed. The state is dealing with a multi-billion-dollar budget deficit and say that part of the answer could be to pay cuts for local workers. Today, our 3rd District legislators held a town hall meeting to address this hurdle. Our Alexandra Cohen-Yards was at the event. She joins us with the story.
These are tense times here in Washington and across the nation. That was felt in this auditorium where our 3rd District legislators held their town hall meeting today. The passionate crowd spoke on many issues, but especially how these looming budget cuts could impact their personal lives.
They're expecting a plan, a strong plan that doesn't put working families last.
But some Washingtonians believe Governor Bob Ferguson's new budget proposal would do just that.
The governor's plan suggests furloughing certain state workers for a day a month, essentially expecting them to take unpaid time off.
It's kind of a slap in the face, to be completely honest, and it's really unfair.
Julie Peters and Graham Lauer are state workers at Eastern State Hospital and members of the Washington Federation of State Employees. They attended today's meeting hopeful to get support against these furloughs.
It's messy. It didn't work very well when we tried it in 2011.
State Representative Tim Ormsby criticized the governor's furlough proposal. He emphasized that balancing the budget is his top priority. But these cuts to state programs aren't the only concern for Eastern Washington residents. A proposal from the House Republicans to cut billions from Medicaid has sparked worry.
I have 75 Medicaid people in my building. Where will they go?
While Medicaid funding is a federal issue, today State Senator Marcus Riccelli warned of the local impact this could have.
To expand when we can, but right now the reality is we have to try and protect what we have in place because it's going to be extremely challenging.
Bob Ferguson's furlough proposal would trim $300 million from the state budget as part of a larger plan to save Washington $4 billion. But Lauer says that would cut around 5% of state workers' earnings, which is why he is urging government officials to explore other options.
We just don't see this making any sense as a solution. There's plenty of wealth in our state, and there's ways to find revenue besides this.
In Spokane, Alexandra Konyarts, 4 News Now.
President Trump signed an executive order on Thursday to begin dismantling the Department of Education, and this leaves many parents and educators alike wondering what this means for their students. And one of the main things that the DOE does is to provide crucial funding for low-income students and students with disabilities. The administration insists that funding for Pell Grants, low-income students, and students with disabilities won't be interrupted, but they will be overseen by new government agencies. President Trump announcing on Friday funding for special education and nutrition programs will now be handled by Robert F. Kennedy and the Health and Human Services Department.
They're going to be preserved in full and redistributed to various other agencies and departments.
But teachers and school officials everywhere are understandably skeptical and nervous. More schools than we realize are heavily reliant on this funding. We reached out to several local school districts to ask, what does this mean for their students? But no one really knows. Spokane Public Schools said in a statement, quote, the federal funding question is impacting some of our budgeting timelines as we and other districts across the country need to know what our revenue will be prior to creating next year's budget and staffing levels. Police are investigating a deadly shooting that happened in New Mexico. When we come back, the chilling video taken just moments after shots rang out and how the police are searching for answers. And the tense standoff between President Trump and the federal judge demanding answers about the administration's deportation of more than 200 Venezuelan migrants.
And when we come back, we'll be talking about your forecast. A rainy Sunday. It is definitely not going to be like today. Plus, we'll talk more about the warm temperatures we're about to see. Yes, you're not reading that wrong. 60s coming up later this week.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
4 News Now weather is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel.
Rain or shine, day or night, good weather always reigns at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. No matter the weather, winning is better. Your 7-day forecast calls for fun at the Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Coeur d'Alene Casino, winning is just the beginning. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
2 minutes for checking to Berkeley Cap. Get your exclusive Spokane Chiefs debit card from Numerica today.
It's time to have fun and take a break on us at Cortez Nissan, #1 in Spokane. Right now, spring into a new ride and take a break from payments till July. Get #1 unbeatable deals. Cars and trucks from $199. Incredible 0%, 0 payments until July. And get $4,000 over KBB for your trade. It's time for some spring break fun during the spring break event. Right now through March 31st, only at Cortez Nissan, on the corner of North Airman and Sprague.
Hi, I'm Ken, and I'm a lawyer.
I'm Donnie, and I'm not, but I am an advocate.
So am I.
I'm an advocate.
I'm an advocate.
I'm an advocate.
Seriously injured? You deserve justice. You deserve an advocate.
That's us.
All of us.
Which is better, the Honda Ridgeline or the Toyota Tacoma? Well, the Honda Ridgeline is built right here in America. Tacoma is not. In fact, the Honda Ridgeline is in the top 10 on Cars.com's American Made Index. Tacoma didn't even make the list. Plus, Ridgeline comes standard with more horsepower and all-wheel drive. And right now, well-qualified buyers can get the Honda Ridgeline with 1.9% APR financing. For details, see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today.
All across Washington, people are coming together
to restore our rivers and streams.
We're planting trees and shrubs to cool and purify the water,
making it healthier for salmon.
Each project improves water quality and creates new habitat for fish and wildlife.
The ripples of these projects will be felt for generations.
Be a part of the ripple effect by volunteering with your local conservation district.
Welcome back. Another deadly mass shooting in America, this time in New Mexico. Authorities say at least 3 people were killed and more than a dozen injured after gunfire erupted during an unsanctioned car show. It happened in Las Cruces, south of Albuquerque. Here's ABC's Johnny Fernandez with the details.
Tonight, the search for answers following a deadly shooting Friday at a park in New Mexico.
1143 Central, we have multiple gunshot victims. Multiple gunshot victims. 969 Central, start alerting area hospital.
Authorities say it happened at an unsanctioned car show in Las Cruces, near White Sands National Park. Saying an altercation between 2 groups escalated.
There was some type of ill will between these groups prior to last night. So they had some issues before, and it escalated.
In a video posted to Instagram, dozens of people could be seen running following when the shots rang out. Police say they found about 50 to 60 handgun caliber casings across the park. One of the victims, a 16-year-old male. Las Cruces police chief says the unsanctioned shows have become an issue.
That area has been troubled with crime. In spite of some of the efforts, we are still struggling with that, obviously.
Investigators are asking for the public's help in finding more information about the suspects. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
President Donald Trump Friday night ordering federal agencies to revoke more than a dozen security clearances. They're for his perceived political enemies, including former Vice President Kamala Harris and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. He did the same to former President Joe Biden last month. Trump has done the same to fellow Republicans on the House committee that investigated his role in January 6th. Former Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney and former Illinois Representative Adam Kinzinger had their clearances revoked as well. Still to come here, Pope Francis is going home when the 88-year-old pontiff will be discharged from the hospital and the preparations for his first public appearance in just a few minutes. And groundbreaking medical technology making history over in California, how surgeons and their patients are reacting to this innovative robotic assistant.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Hey, there he is. Let's do this.
Hey, you ready?
Yeah.
We're up, guys.
All right.
Right now, you can lease a new, fun-to-drive 2025 Toyota Camry for just $359 a month. Visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Yeah.
Come on.
Toyota, let's go places.
The old me was stuck in the daily grind. My routine didn't allow for any self-expression. I found clay, and that changed everything. I realized my calling was to give others the space to be creative, to build something.
This is the first class.
And that's how Clayton was born. Having a Chase Ink card has allowed us to grow it and bring people together. There's a creative side in all of us. That's what I hope people come here to find.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Ink Business Cash Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Looking to save on internet and mobile? Get the best of both with Xfinity. Because now you can get Xfinity Internet with unlimited mobile included for $25 a month for the first year. And unlock faster, secure Wi-Fi at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost. Plus, when you switch from Verizon or AT&T, save over $1,000 in your first year and get a free 5G phone. Switch today and save on internet and mobile. Only with Xfinity.
So what are you learning in Moscow?
Well, the class focuses on nuclear energy, neutrons, electrons, managing underbrush to limit wildfires, muons, positrons, especially alpha particles and isotopes.
Well, I'm studying factors affecting healthcare provider recruitment in rural areas. Meaning?
Idaho forests stay healthy.
Veterans get better healthcare.
Limitless energy.
Well, sounds like we're in good hands.
Chevy makes affordable vehicles that help you enjoy life. Get more for less in the Chevy Trax. Maximize every mile in the all-electric Equinox. And power through with the capable Colorado. Enjoy endless possibilities and your new Chevy. Get 2.9% financing on all 2025 Equinox models when you finance with GM Financial. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Brainstorm at KXLY.com.
They managed to find a place where there was just a little break in that fence and made it just large enough for an otter to sneak through.
2 otters are on the loose after they escaped from their habitat at a zoo in northeastern Wisconsin. Louie and Ophelia escaped Thursday morning as snow from Winter Storm Ezra fell across the region. The conditions are exactly what the species like. Zoo officials are hoping to lure them back with some food, but they know they're close by because of their tracks and a few sightings on the security cameras. I imagine they are up to just a whole bunch of no good. But that does remind us of that other elusive otter we saw in Riverfront Park a couple weeks back.
Mr. Photogenic,
That's
Mr. or
right.
Mrs. Photogenic?
Oh, sunbathing. He became Twitter famous for a day or two. It was pretty awesome. Wishing for that weather again, and we're going to get it soon.
Yes, and I'll have the day where you can go look for that otter again because they might be out. We'll talk about that in a second here, but all right, let's take a look at the month so far. So we started off with a bang. It's been kind of chilly recently, and so you may have already forgotten we had a beautiful first day of March 4 weeks ago now. 61 degrees. We're about to smash through that number in the next couple of days. Our highs today, we're in the upper 40s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and this, either today or tomorrow, depending on how things break, this could be the last day with highs in the 40s for a long time. Take a look at how quickly things warm up. So expect our high to be right about average, right about 50 degrees tomorrow. And then as we get into Monday, look how things change. Low 60s, upper 60s for Wednesday. We are going to make a run at 70 degrees in the Spokane area, and I think places like Moses Lake, like Lewiston, you get down to the Tri-Cities, you are going to be well into the 70s. It is going to be downright tropical out there, and the warmest weather by far that we've had since at some point in the middle of October. So here is tomorrow. We have to get through this, which is some gross, rainy, cloudy, at a disgusting weather. Let's take you through the timeline here. So as we head through the night, we'll see the snow begin to get itself going on the Cascades. And then as we get into early Sunday morning, you can see that there's a little bit of snow mixed in. Northern Valley, south into the Kootenai County area, St. Mary's and some of those higher areas in north central Idaho. And we will, as we head pretty much over the next kind of 2 hours following this, is when those snow levels will really start to rise, and we will wave goodbye to snow for the foreseeable future. By noon, rain coming down a little bit heavier, and it is widespread. Pretty much, you have to be right in the rain shadow, the deepest part of the rain shadow of the Cascades, Moses Lake to Grand Coulee and south, close to parts of the Tri-Cities, to where you'll have an opportunity to dry out a little bit before we get to the late afternoon. For Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, that'll be about 4 or 5 o'clock, I think, that we'll really have an opportunity to let's breathe, let's relax, let's maybe take the dog for a walk here in the afternoon, because earlier in the day, it is not going to be fun at all. Now, one change in the forecast we've had since before the weekend is gone ahead and put rain chances back in for Monday, particularly Monday morning. It does look like this moisture is going to hang around a little bit, but I do expect some improving conditions on Monday afternoon. And so right now, if you want to go otter spotting or really just want to have a beautiful day, if you're looking for that beautiful, perfect day, the closest we're going to get is going to be on Tuesday. Now, with all of this, with those snow levels rising up to 7,000 feet, with 60s in the forecast, it should not be a surprise. If you've been around a while, you know that there are going to be issues up in the mountains with melting snow and rain on top of snow for tonight and tomorrow, at least the start of tomorrow, and this will likely continue both in the Cascades and in the Idaho Panhandle. We've got avalanche warnings. So this is going to be some difficult stuff there. Stay in the ski boundaries. Maybe just avoid it altogether tomorrow because we're talking about some dangerous conditions when you get into these springtime patterns like this and this fast warm-up. It's not going to last forever, Jordan. By Thursday, we're back in the rain. We're back cooling off again, but we're going to be staying in the 50s. So, boy, a real sign of spring after we just passed the first day of spring on Thursday. So
Look,
things are looking up here.
That's the good news that everyone, I think, can take away here. Snuff in the 70s, and then, you know, we can live with the 50s as long as we stick around that area.
Yeah, just some consistent sunshine every day, at least for a little bit. And I think everybody's going to be happy, right?
Yeah, that vitamin D is going to come in clutch. Pat, thanks for that. Well, today is National Healthcare Rights Day. The day raises awareness, rather, of the importance of helping people learn about their healthcare rights, particularly those facing a serious or chronic medical issue. Knowing healthcare rights can ease the burden of a condition, empower people to advocate for themselves, alleviate some of the stress of a diagnosis, and help people make the right medical decisions. The rights include health insurance, workplace, and financial rights. A Southern California woman is recovering after a historic surgery. She's the first patient to undergo a robotic-assisted kidney transplant down in San Diego. With this new technology, surgeons are able to perform the operation on patients from across the room. Dr. Marquise Hart has used this robot for dozens of surgeries. He says that it gives tactical feedback, which is pretty helpful for surgeons.
I can feel the tissue, the tension in the tissue, and so it made the experience a lot more connected to the patient.
We're hoping that this will open the door to more patients being able to receive kidney transplants.
For that, they need more donors. About 100,000 people in the U.S. here are waiting for an organ transplant. March is National Kidney Month, a time to raise awareness about kidney disease. But many experts say that many misconceptions discourage potential donors. Mary Sheridan tells us the story of a living kidney donor and busts the myths about the procedure that can save a life.
It's a connection they consider to be providential. Born 18 days apart, Megan and Regina have never lived life without the other.
We didn't know it, 35 years ago when both of our mothers were pregnant, that this would be our story.
Their tale of friendship took a twist in 2022 when Regina got so sick her name had to be added to the kidney transplant list, one of nearly 90,000 people left hoping. But the Mayo Clinic confirmed Megan as a match to her childhood best friend, and in 2023, she gave the best gift anyone could give, a new chance at life.
Many of our patients wait 4 to 6 to even 9 or 10 years before they receive that gift of life.
Transplant surgeon Dr. Shannon Mao says the need significantly outweighs the organ supply, and less than a third of people waiting will get a kidney this year. Mao believes it's due to common misconceptions, like living kidney donors have to have perfect health. She says that's false. They need to be generally healthy, but donors can potentially have controlled high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes. Second, those over age 50 can't be a living donor. Mao says there's no age limit. Donors just have to be 18 or older. Third, you have to be related to a match. Mao says Megan is living proof that's not true. More than a year after the transplant, both friends are doing well.
I always considered her family, and now she truly is family.
The Mayo Clinic says 2 other misconceptions are that living kidney donors can't have an active lifestyle after donation. Experts say in most cases, donors return to normal activities 4 to 6 weeks after surgery. In fact, Megan is currently training for a 160-mile trail run to promote living kidney donation awareness. And finally, experts say some believe donating a kidney shortens the donor's lifespan, but experts say multiple studies show that's simply not true. For 4 News Now, I'm Mary Sheridan.
A lot of good information there. Thanks for that, Mary. Well, coming up here, we'll return to the town of Peck, Idaho, where we first introduced you to Jeff Green. Hear his Olympic journey and his next steps after achieving a goal 30 years in the making. And the world's busiest airport picking up the pieces from Thursday's massive disruption. Heathrow Airport's efforts to resume normal operations coming up after this break on this special edition of 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Visit AutoNation Acura Spokane Valley for attractive offers on a new vehicle.
Dupixent helps people with asthma breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. So this is better. That too. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. It works with your asthma medicine to help improve lung function. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems and doesn't replace a rescue inhaler. It's proven to help prevent asthma attacks. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of signs of inflamed blood vessels, like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop steroid, asthma, or other treatments without talking to your doctor. When you can get more out of your lungs, you can do more with less asthma. And isn't that better? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic in asthma, and now approved as an add-on treatment for adults with COPD that is not well controlled and with a specific marker of inflammation.
Quality Spas, the little store in North Spokane that sells the most hot tubs and swim spas in the region. Featuring Cal Spas made right here in the United States, is having a trade-in sale, which means if you have an older tub you'd like to trade in and upgrade to a nicer, newer one loaded with jets, the pros at Quality Spas will give you up to $2,000 for your old one. So you can sit back, relax, and save in a new hot tub for less.
It's time to have fun and take a break on us at Cortez Nissan, #1 in Spokane. Right now, spring into a new ride and take a break from payments till July. Get #1 unbeatable deals. Cars and trucks from $199. Incredible 0%, 0 payments until July. And get $4,000 over KBB for your trade. It's time for some spring break fun during the spring break event. Right now through March 31st, only at Cortez Nissan on the corner of North Airman and Sprague.
4 News Now is brought to you by STCU, here for good.
London's Heathrow Airport was able to resume full operations today after a fire at a nearby electrical substation closed one of the world's busiest airports for nearly a day on Friday. The incident happened on Thursday night with a fire compromising 25,000 liters of transformers cooling oil. This was a scary moment for passengers who were left stranded in the dark and had to use their phones as flashlights. Several flights took off from Heathrow Friday night, just one day after the disruption, which grounded hundreds of planes. Doctors announced today that Pope Francis will be discharged from the hospital tomorrow. He's been in the hospital for 38 days, where he's being treated for double pneumonia. Doctors say he will continue to recover at his residence at the Vatican, where he will continue the same kind of treatment that he received while in the hospital. The 88-year-old pontiff plans on greeting the crowds in some form from the hospital tomorrow before he's discharged. Now to the latest on that standoff between President Trump and a federal judge over the deportation of more than 200 Venezuelans. The president used the Alien Enemies Act to deport them and Friday, a hearing by the judge was held about it. And now there's word of another deportation. ABC's Selena Wang is here with more.
The Trump administration says it sent a new group of migrants to Guantanamo Bay this week. An administration official claiming many are members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, but they gave no evidence for how they determined the migrants are connected to the gang. The official added that deportation flights continue every day. It comes as a federal judge demands answers about the deportation of more than 200 Venezuelan migrants to a prison in El Salvador. The president using the Alien Enemies Act, an 18th century wartime law that allows the government to deport people with little or no due process. An attorney for Jersey Reyes Barrios, a professional soccer player from Venezuela, says he was deported and accused of being a gang member because of his tattoos. The lawyer says they're a tribute to his favorite soccer team, not gang tattoos. On Friday, U.S. District Judge James Boasberg called President Trump's use of the law incredibly troublesome, adding his administration's arguments about the extent of presidential powers was awfully frightening. Why is this proclamation essentially signed in the dark on Friday night or early Saturday morning, and then these people rushed on the planes? To me, the only reason to do that is if you know it's a problem and you want to get them out of the country before a suit is filed. Nearly a week after the deportations, the president appeared to distance himself, claiming he never signed the order, even though it bears his signature.
I don't know when it was signed because I didn't sign it. Other people handled it.
The president continuing to lash out at Judge Boasberg.
You can't stop that with a judge sitting behind a bench that has no idea what goes on, who happens to be a radical left lunatic.
It comes as his administration ramps up its fight with universities over pro-Palestinian protests, anti-Israel protests, and concerns about anti-Semitism on campus. Columbia University appears to have ceded to its demands after a threat to withhold $400 million in federal funds, agreeing to ban masks on campus and place stricter controls over its Middle East Studies department. Selena Wang, ABC News, Washington.
When we come back tonight, Gonzaga and Houston battled hard in the round of 32. The game just wrapping up in a grueling loss for the Zags. Catch us after the break here to see more into how Gonzaga's great NCAA tournament comeback came up just short. That's coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Scoop, beautiful lob on the move. He rolls right to the cup with his right hand. Team repair slide through. Beautiful. Yeah. Band the head to Murray. Oh.
Watch Blazers versus Celtics tomorrow at 3 on KXLY ABC4.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down. We were starting a business from the ground up. People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
This year, if you'd like to make your backyard fun and entertaining with a new swim spa or a relaxing new hot tub, then you need to visit Quality Spas of Spokane, the little store that sells the most hot tubs in the region. Featuring Cal Spas, one of the only hot tubs made in the USA that offers the highest quality of pumps and massage jets with stylish cabinet options at the best volume pricing in the market. Quality Spas of Spokane. Life's just better in a spa.
It's Truck Month with the Ford crew.
Attention, please. The final days of Truck Month have arrived.
Morgan, light it up.
On it! This is like a movie.
Okay, everyone. Time is running out for our best deals on Ranger and Maverick and America's best-selling trucks for 48 years, Ford F-Series.
Lease a 24 F-150 Super Crew 4x4 for $399 a month for 36, or buy with 2.9% for 72. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Watch Judy Justice weekdays at 3 on KXLY ABC4.
Judy Justice is now in session right here.
Judy Justice is brought to you by Russell and Hill. Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Call 1-800-LAW-0842.
The heart work of Joya is that they come in and they don't just see a diagnosis. They don't see a child with Down syndrome. They see a child who is worth investing in because it's not just about what that child's going to do today or tomorrow. It's about where their life is going to go. being connected to Joya just gives you a sense that you're not alone. Joya is not just there for Elliot. Joya is there for the whole family.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now, Special Edition.
Welcome back, everybody. A heartbreaking night for Gonzaga, falling 81-76 to the Houston Cougars to end their season. Jack.
Man, what an amazing game right to the end. The Zags had a remarkable rally coming up just short, and let's see how they made that run. And man, this game started red hot for the Cougars. A big lead for Houston, growing to 11 late in the first half. LJ Cryer was ridiculous, drilling another three. It's 31-17 for the Zags over the Cougs. But late in the half, Caleb Battle running in for 2 right after it's Battle again looking for 3. It's a 6-point game now, so a little bit of life. Second half, it's all Houston again. The high shot is missed, and look at Joseph Tugler with a big-time slam. Now late in the game, 7-point Cougar lead. Here comes Graham Ike. Look at him work the paint, hitting the and one. His free throw is good. It's a 4-point contest, but Houston ends up getting the clutch stop and the free throws. They close out a 5-point win, ending the Zags season short. Gonzaga falls to 0-11 against #1 seeds all time in the NCAA tournament, bowing out before the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2014. That ends a 9-tournament streak. Also ending the Gonzaga careers for Ryan Nimhart, Ben Gregg, Nolan Hickman, plus Caleb Battle, who scored 17. Now, Graham Ike could come back for another year. He has one more eligibility, and he led all Zags with 27 points. So a tough game, heartbreaking to see the streak end, and this team fall short despite a WCC title and really an excellent first-round game against Georgia. Don't discount that.
Oh, absolutely. And the Gonzaga women's team didn't make the NCAA tournament, but they're also into the second round of the WBIT tourney.
And let's say they look pretty dang good in that first win over UTSA. That was a couple days ago, getting the first-round win. Now they got to hit the road for a trip to Colorado for that second-round matchup. Zags entered at least one more 40 minutes. They're going to get one more shot, at least with a tough game at that new Big 12 member, Colorado. Head coach Lisa Fortier, she's going to see a familiar face in J.R. Payne. That's Colorado's head coach, who began her coaching career at Gonzaga in the early 2000s. Fortier spoke about her friendships with her and others on the CU staff and what it's like to play against some folks you know.
It's fun to play against your friends, sort of. You know, there's good and bad to that. And, you know, they run a good program, and we're a good program. And so I think it's going to be, hopefully, a really competitive game. And hopefully we can find ways to be the best team on Sunday.
So funny enough, it's Coach Fortier's first meeting against Payne's Buffaloes since Payne took that Colorado job in 2016. And it's the first overall meeting between these schools since 2008. Tip-off in Boulder early tomorrow at noon. And in some soccer news, Spokane Velocity played to a 1-0 loss to FC Naples in the club's first meeting. That was right across the street at One Spokane Stadium. Forward Carson Henderlong scored the lone goal of the match. And Velocity, they return to the road next week at the Greenville Triumph. That's in South Carolina. And on the road, we meet the Spokane Zephyr. Also could not bag a goal tonight, but they didn't surrender any. In a 0-0 draw to Fort Lauderdale United down in warm, sunny Florida, Spokane only mustered a single shot on target in the draw. They were outshot 13-11. Single point earned snapping a 2-match win streak for the Zephyr, and now they head back home, hosting Brooklyn FC on Thursday, April the 3rd. And Spokane Chiefs also on the road tonight. This game just wrapped up. They're at the Tri-City Americans, and they ended up hanging on to a win 4-3 despite allowing a late goal. And now they ended their regular season on a W, entering the playoffs strong. Their first 2 home playoff games already released when they're going to be. Book your calendars. Wednesday, April 2nd, Thursday the 3rd. Both games at 7:05 p.m. And, of course, we don't know their opponent yet. Can't wait for it. So it feels kind of weird that basketball season is so close to finishing, but even weirder that we're this close to spring too. I tell you, I need to get my t-shirt and shorts back.
You're telling me. I have been wearing this stuff for way too long.
It's too stuffy.
Got to get the sunblock. I'm very excited, but that does mean the end of probably the most exciting sports season. Basketball, hockey wrapping up.
That's
so,
true. Love baseball, though.
All right, Jack, thanks for that. Well, continuing coverage from Peck, Idaho tonight, the small Idaho town home to 170 people. The star of that town tonight, a remarkable athlete chasing a 30-year dream. And last week, that dream finally realized.
It was so cool to be there.
Jeff Green is the talk of his hometown. At the start of March, we showed you the moment he punched his ticket to the Special Olympics World Games, a lifelong goal.
He was told on a Zoom call with the Special Olympics Idaho, they told him, "You're going to Italy." I'm like, oh my God.
Idaho's sole representative for the World Games, ready for the moment. The Peck native competing in the snowshoeing championships. Adrenaline pumping, Jeff charges through the finish line in the medal round, finishing third in the world. And then, the moment he became immortalized.
Representing Special Olympics, United States of America, Jeffrey Green!
Arms raised, a medal around his neck, the dream 30 years in the making, finally realized.
I'm just happy I got the medal, so it was so amazing. I am the proud to be American.
His mom, Nancy, and his sister, Nikki, right there with him.
He made his dream come true as well as ours. Just a huge amount of memories and life-changing. It really is life-changing.
And I got to interview Jeff twice. I mean, just the best guy. And I did ask him, I was like, have you taken the medal off? And he said the only time he does is when he sleeps, but he takes that with him everywhere.
Yeah.
So, rightfully so.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, shout out to Peck, Idaho. Shout out to Jeffrey. You did us all so proud. And what a great story by yours truly here on this desk.
Yeah, he's a great athlete. And you know what, the best part of the story actually is, we got a second here, the town welcoming him back. I mean, there was elementary school kids making signs, welcoming him back home.
Oh, that's so cool.
Really just a great story out of Peck, Idaho. So again, congrats, Jeff. If you're watching this tonight, you earned it, man. That was awesome. So.
And whether you're in Spokane in the middle of the city, or you're in Peck, Idaho, and you don't have many neighbors until you get about 2 miles away, you're probably ready for some warmer weather. We are going to get some, but we got to get through one more nasty day of weather first, and then things are really going to start to improve out there. So here's the radar picture. We're starting to see some returns way out on the edge of radar range here. For the most part, this is low cloud cover, or rather high cloud cover, with the radar being. What we're seeing over on the other side of the state with some of our other radar sites, that's where the wet weather is at the moment. And as it tracks in tonight, well, things are going to get a lot more active on the radar for sure. Now, we have a small opportunity, I think, for a little bit of winter mix in some of our valleys and lowlands very early on in the morning. Do I think it's going to add up to much? No, but we'll talk about those percentages for where you live in just a minute. But let's talk about kind of where we could see a break in the rain. Well, still waiting. All right, there you go. By the late afternoon, you'll have a chance for a break that will be longer than a few minutes from wet weather, especially across the eastern third of Washington and then across all of North Idaho. There'll be some breaks earlier on in the day in places like Moses Lake, for example, in the central part of Washington state. So it's going to be rainy tomorrow. Make sure you are dressed appropriately. Get the rain boots out. Send them by the door for the morning. We'll see rising snow levels. Interesting things happening in the mountains, and then the reward, 60s. We'll talk about when those show up and how long they'll be sticking around coming up.
All right, Matt, looking forward to it. After the break here, we'll take you to the skies for this week's Air 4 adventure, and you won't want to miss the bird's eye view of Badger Lake. That's coming up here, just a few minutes.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
For March only, buy one window or door and get the second 40% off. Plus, get an additional $750 off your entire project. Schedule your complimentary consultation. Call Renewal by Anderson today.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand, right now, you can get a 0.99% APR on a 2025 Passport.
Mira Joy, the overwhelming relief after Miralax helps you go. Miralax works naturally with the water in your body, putting you in a supernaturally good mood. Miralax, free your gut to free your mood.
The idea of owning a home was a really big dream of mine. It felt kind of like a pipe dream. When I think of a mortgage advisor, I think of someone who is stuffy, not approachable or friendly. But then we went to BECU and I met Lauren. She was like, this is what we're gonna do. This is how you make it happen. This is how you buy a home. And it wasn't scary or overwhelming. My mortgage advisor changed my life and my family's life.
BECU, we're here to help.
ABC's World News Tonight at 4 News Now, when the local story is national news.
When national stories hit home. Watch ABC World News Tonight at 5:30.
And 4 News Now at 6. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
It's time to have fun and take a break on us at Cortez Nissan, #1 in Spokane. Right now, spring into a new ride and take a break from payments till July. Get #1 unbeatable deals. Cars and trucks from $199. Incredible 0%, 0 payments until July. And get $4,000 over KBB for your trade. It's time for some spring break fun during the spring break event. Right now through March 31st, only at Cortez Nissan, on the corner of North Airman and Sprague.
Indulge in wonderful dining at Mistaqua Casino Hotel.
We made it to spring, everybody. Fishing season won't be too far behind if you haven't already made it out there. In this week's Air 4 Adventure, we're soaring above one fishing spot that will be perfect to catch some fish. Let's go for a ride on the Air 4 drone over Badger Lake.
We are at Badger Lake. We're doing a little bit of reconnaissance sampling. Do this every year, mostly in my trout lakes, just to get an idea of how our fish stocking plan is coming together, and to give an idea of what anglers can expect to catch on opening day, which this year is April 27th. We're mandated to provide recreational opportunity, and information is important. So the anglers might be wanting to plan their opening day trip. There's a whole suite of lakes that are opening up. They might want to know which lakes are going to be the best fishing with the best size of fish that they want to catch. Each lake will set 3 nets and then let them fish overnight. We'll come back in the morning. We'll collect the fish out of them, and that allows us to weigh them and measure them. By the length and weight, we can tell if they're healthy, if they're getting enough food, which may tell us we want to stock more or less. It's just a fine balance. Badger Lake is a really good one. We rehabbed it way back in 2015, and thus far it's been clean of any other species, so it allows us to implement stocking the way we would like. There's really good numbers and good sizes of rainbow trout, West Slope cutthroat trout, and I also stock kokanee in here.
Pretty good location to keep in the back of your mind as fishing season inches closer here. And anyone hoping to do some fishing in the Spokane River between the Washington-Idaho border and the 9 Mile Dam will have to wait just a little bit longer. The section of the river is closed until May 24th. The closure will allow for the safe spawning of natural trout. Once the season opens up, there will be some restrictions. Head to KXLY.com to find this story. 4 News Now. We'll be right back. Matt Gray's coming back with weather.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
I love your daughter so much.
Are you saying munch?
Yep. He's craving my new Big Smash Jack with more than double the beef of a Big Mac.
I'm in love.
With?
What's her face, right? Get my new Big Smash Jack and so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
This year, turn your backyard into a fun, relaxing paradise. From Quality Spas of Spokane, the little store that sells the most hot tubs and swim spas. Made right here in the United States by Cal Spas.
Nothing. Nada.
If you've been injured in a car or truck accident, you don't pay the advocates anything unless we win.
Zilch. Diddly squat.
Donnie, I think they get it. You can stop now.
Great. I was beginning to run out of words.
Stay ahead of your child's moderate to severe eczema with Dupixent as they welcome the feeling of touch with clear skin and less itch. The #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists helps heal their skin from within. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your child's doctor about Dupixent.
Visit AutoNation Acura Spokane Valley for attractive offers on a new vehicle.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down. We were starting a business from the ground up. People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
If you like options, you'll love my $5 all-day big deal meal. Choose from 4 delicious entrees and 5 tasty sides with a drink. Oh, and nobody else includes breakfast items all day. Just this guy. At Jack, every bite's a big deal.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
4 News Now is brought to you by Three Dog Night, coming to the First Interstate Center for the Arts June 14th.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for staying up with 4 News Now. All in all, we had a pretty good Saturday here in the Inland Northwest. Wish tomorrow would be just as nice here as we wrap up the weekend. Unfortunately, it is not looking that way. And very early in the morning might be our last opportunity for perhaps a very long time to see a little bit of snow. We did not done so well here in the month of March compared to the average, and once you get into April, the averages are just fractions of an inch. Really not much to talk about there. But with us cooling off enough tonight, we do have an opportunity for at least to see a little bit of snow mixed in as this next weather system rolls in before it very quickly is going to flip over to rain. So here are the odds for measurable snow. So basically, if you just get just a skiff and you could put a ruler down and measure it, that's what these odds are for. If you're talking about something like an inch or more, it is far, far less than the numbers you see on your screen here. So as you can see, places like Republic, St. Mary's, Sandpoint, all have good opportunities to at least start off this weather event as snow before that quick flip, as I mentioned before, to a little bit of rain. And that's all because our snow levels are going to go from, well, about 2,600 feet all the way up to almost 7,000 feet. That's higher than a lot of mountain peaks here in this part of the Pacific Northwest. And so we are going to, even on our passes here, as you can see, start to see a transition late in the day from snow to rain. And so for our mountain passes, yes, you still have to be aware of winter driving conditions if you or somebody you know is doing some traveling on this Sunday. But it's not going to be nearly as much as you would perhaps expect for what is going to be basically wet weather for almost the entirety of the day. Rain on top of snow, also a big problem when it comes to skiing, especially in the backcountry. Avalanche warnings are now up for the Cascades and for North Idaho. So extremely dangerous backcountry conditions. Stay in the boundaries if you do have plans to maybe get up and enjoy that initial start to the snow tomorrow. Here's what it's going to look like down in the valleys. That rain just continuing on. We'll have some breaks as we head later on in the day. So let's show you here how this kind of plays out. As we head towards about 5, 6 in the morning, you see that wet weather getting started. You see the blues on your screen, the mountain snow and the little mix, winter mix and slush that we'll see in some of those valleys that I mentioned earlier. By noon, still coming down pretty good, although we are starting to dry out a little bit in places like Moses Lake. As we get into the afternoon, finally, this is up 4 o'clock. The day's pretty much almost done. And we will finally start to see some longer breaks around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. And then a change to the forecast here, folks, is that on Monday morning, we are likely to see Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, the Palouse region. We're likely to still see a little bit of rain to start the day with improving conditions later in the day. And then we get to Tuesday, which is going to be the best day of the week. 67 degrees, partly cloudy skies. We get even warmer. We're going to make a run at 70. We'll probably hit it in some neighborhoods in Spokane, I'm sure, on Wednesday, if not earlier. However, the weather breaks, the warmth breaks as we get into Thursday. We'll have a chance for some thunderstorms late Wednesday evening and Wednesday night. And with some warmer weather, could be a little on the vigorous side. So that's something we'll be watching pretty closely. It's springtime, Jordan. Everything happens at once.
Well said. And you know what? I've got a big red circle around Wednesday on my calendar because that's looking awfully cool, Matt. 69. Looking forward to that. Yeah. Well, the Washington State Department of Transportation is asking for your help in the design of a pedestrian bridge that will be built over I-90 in Spokane Valley. A new survey from WashDOT lets people provide their feedback over various styles of bridges. It also asks where you think the bridge should be located and what popular spots you want the bridge to connect to. That survey is open until April 13th. To fill it out, you can find this link on our website, KXLY.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back with one final look at weather before we say goodbye.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
What's more powerful than an unexpected storm? Insurance that helps clean it up. Western National Insurance. That's the power of nice.
Start living your life to the fullest by living simply in a tiny home from Portable Cedar Cabins. Less is truly more with all the amenities and comforts of a traditional home with a much smaller footprint. Each home is custom built and ready for you to move in and start enjoying the little things in life, including financial freedom. Homes from Portable Cedar Cabins are about half the price of the competition and about a quarter of the cost of a traditional home. Contact Portable Cedar Cabins today. Your worry-free tiny home is waiting for you just north of Spirit Lake, Idaho on Highway 41.
Looking to save on internet and mobile? Get the best of both with Xfinity. Because now you can get Xfinity Internet with unlimited mobile included for $25 a month for the first year. And unlock faster, secure Wi-Fi at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost. Plus, when you switch from Verizon or AT&T, save over $1,000 in your first year and get a free 5G phone. Switch today and save on internet and mobile. Only with Xfinity.
For over 25 years, Dr. Arvind Chaudhry and Summit Cancer Centers has remained true to 3 core values. 25 years of coming together to develop the most complete and personalized treatment plans available. 25 years of providing the most advanced treatments and non-invasive radiosurgery in the country. 25 years of taking you on a healing journey from diagnosis to recovery.
And we are not stopping there. We will continue to offer the most comprehensive cancer treatment in the Northwest.
Summit Cancer Centers. Integrated, innovative, inspired.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Awesome!
I like it. I love it.
Right now, get 6.49% APR for up to 72 months on a new 2025 Grand Highlander. Visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
A final look here at your 7-day forecast, and man, it is going to be incredible, that weather coming in for Tuesday and Wednesday. I tell you what, guys, I opened my windows already today when there was sunshine a little bit, had a little breeze come in the house.
Oh, yeah?
Clear out the air a little bit. And, yeah, going to have a lot of open windows here this coming week.
It's feeling nice out there, right? It's time. The sunblock is right on my shelf. It's just ready to be used.
I'm going to need it.
Yeah.
Badly.
Yeah, once it gets to 65, I'm going to just burn right as I walk outside. So that's definitely needed. Hey, thanks for being with us here on the special edition of 4 News Now. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.